I guess I'll record this for future reference, if nothing else. It's not very exciting as video goes. Anyway, the 97 Blazer. I had the rear drum off to check the brakes. I seem to have no rear brakes. I'm guessing the rear cylinders have froze up, seized up from old age or something. And in the process of cleaning up, I noticed a fuel leak here, slight seepage. It's been showing it for several years, but I thought I'd clean it up a little this time. And in the process of cleaning, I can't get a good spot here. Yeah. In the process of cleaning, digging off the accumulated 20 years of packed in road mud and clay, I blew some of the rust off the side, which was apparently the only thing holding the gas in, and it started leaking gas here. Not that it's spraying out, but it's constantly wet. I don't see it actually dripping on the ground, so that's a good thing. Especially since it's impossible to drain this tank without actually punching a hole in the bottom. I investigated the possibility of putting a siphon hose down the filler neck, which is possible, but impossible to get the hose into the gas, so that's out. I looked at undoing the, you can't even see them, the filler hose or the vent line, and they're quite solidly connected to the tank. In fact, the one clamp I haven't even been able to get a screwdriver or a socket on, so that's not going to happen. I've unbolted this lower, it's a sort of a metal shield, runs the full length of the tank, makes a real good dirt catcher and tank ruster. There's also a little plastic section in there at each end of the tank at the bottom. That's impossible to get out without removing the metal shield. The metal shield is still holding up by 2 bolts at the front, which I might get around to taking off, but it's a little bit cool in the hands out here, and laying in the dirt underneath the vehicle is not as much fun as it used to be, so to be continued. And a little more progress today, actually from yesterday. You'll notice the side of the tank is not wet with leaking gas anymore. It's because I was able to siphon out probably 5 gallons. Couldn't get a hose down the filler neck, so I had to open up the smaller the vent line, they call it. And that was a bit of a challenge, awkward, and anyway, it's done. So I'm thinking now I'll put it back in place to prevent further evaporation. I have a new tank, and it's just a question of whether I'm going to try the installation here or have it done in a heated garage, which would be nice. Anyway, brake cylinders are on the way. For now I got front brakes, and that's about it. So, to be continued. I tried the old trick. They talk about using a bar of soap to rub on a leaking gas tank. Well, that might work on some, but on this one it made it worse, actually. I guess the side of that tank is basically just flakes of rust holding it together, so the pressure of the bar of soap was enough to make it start leaking worse, which is why I had to go ahead and finish draining the tank as much as I could. Otherwise, most of it would have been out on the floor here and soaked into the ground.